What commonly accepted fact are you not really buying? That bullies are bullying others because these bullies are not confident enough. Well, not according to studies, actually, they found them to be more confident. Yep. And then there's the thought that bullies don't do well in adult life. They actually tend to be very successful, because they're confident enough to get their way. Yeah, I got bullied in high school, and from what I could tell, the bullies mostly came from privileged upbringings and loving families. Even if you could convince me that my bullies were actually suffering from self-worth issues, what's that supposed to do for me? Does it matter to me if the person tormenting me every day is well-adjusted or not? He's certainly getting no pity from me. That vinegar does half the shit the internet tells me it does. Dude, I had a nasty plantar wart on bottom of my foot. Tried all the major products. Shaved it down. Changed socks regularly. And after like a year of dealing with it, finally came across vinegar from a post on Reddit, no less. Hasn't been back since. I said the exact same thing you did too. Like, how TF is this about to work? Fucking life, man. That I'll understand when I'm older. Well, I'm older and still don't understand anything. You'll understand when you're dead. The average person falls asleep in 7 minutes. Surely there are enough people with insomnia to skew this heavily. My husband falls asleep in seconds, minutes. I can toss and turn for hours. I often get out of bed in frustration and go do something. Other times I just glare him for sleeping so peacefully. He woke up a few times to find me glaring at him, lol. Vincent van Gogh committed suicide. This isn't a weird conspiracy thing. I don't think he was assassinated, but a lot of the actual evidence points to him covering up for a local troublemaker kid who accidentally shot him with the pistol he got for his birthday. Rather than get the kid in trouble, he buttoned up his shirt and walked home, and literally told his brother when he got there and they noticed the blood, "I shot myself and I'm going to die, don't look into it," which is actually really sweet. It always surprises me how recent Van Gogh was. I always think of him as being alive during the Renaissance when in reality he was active only a little over a century ago. You know, Picasso died in the 1970s, but he was also alive during the 1800s. There is a character based off him in Red Dead Redemption 2. That award shows highlight the greatest achievements of the year. There is this thing I read somewhere where it was said that men think about sex every 10 seconds or something like that. I don't believe it. That's absurd. Money doesn't bring you happiness. Well, lack of money sure as SHT doesn't either. There was actually a study I heard about a while back, showing that money does not increase happiness above a certain amount. Though I tend to lean towards Daniel Tosh's philosophy about it. They say money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a jet ski. And have you ever seen a sad person on a jet ski? Money is like health. Having it is no guarantee for happiness. Not having it almost certainly makes you unhappy. Your call is very important to us. Our wait times are higher than usual. Life never gives you more than you can handle. Fuck that. Life will absolutely waffle stomp you and not even look back at the fiery wreckage. Life sucks, and I wish more people would just admit that sometimes it's shitty for absolutely no reason at all. I mean, I'll stick around and enjoy the good parts, but some of this shit is unnecessary. That my work cares about me. We had the best quarter we ever had. Followed shortly by, we have no money for bonuses this year. Everyone says they're doing my mom, but I don't see her around many people other than my dad. That there's any good reason, unless you're into printing photos, to purchase an inkjet printer, example, instead of a laser printer. What a subpar product. Nevertheless, folks seem to gravitate to it. Dropped $500 on a solid Brother laser printer, and haven't regretted it at all. I've gone through one toner cartridge after like 3,000 pages. I spent $300 on a Brother laser printer back around 2010. 10 years and an entire college career later, it has still never given me a single issue. I keep hoping for it to die so I can upgrade to a color one, but I think this printer might outlive me. That the 40-hour work week is the natural way of things. Humans were not made to toil our lives away. Yes, we have to contribute to society, but we can do that without killing ourselves slowly. I don't mind working 40 hours a week, But the thing that confuses the hell out of me is why do I spend more time with my coworkers than with my own family? Oh, and giving us the weekend off is supposed to help with our mental health? It's actually insanity. That spiders are just as afraid of us as we are of them. 1. Insects don't think like that. 2. Those little fuckers are up to something. The thing about spiders is that a single bite is enormously metabolically costly. A spider that wastes its venom on a non-meal is putting itself at very high risk of starvation. Almost all species will avoid biting a human unless they feel absolutely cornered. What you really have to watch out for are venomous eusocial insects like wasps, bees, or fire ants. In that case, wasting the venom of a single drone does not put their Darwinian survival at risk. Plus, they can muster enough of a swarm to actually put your life in serious danger. That the planets in our solar system can fit between Earth and the Moon. It blows my mind, and I don't believe it. This one is confusing because any time you have seen a picture of the planets may have been to scale, with the exception of the Sun, compared to each other, but the space in between them sure as hell is not. If the Earth is the size of a ping-pong ball, Mars is still a km away. My high school has a model solar system built to scale. The Sun was a basketball, and only 3 planets were actually inside the school. Jupiter was a rubber ball located a few miles away from the school. There used to be little plaques around town with the balls in them, but people kept stealing them. There is someone for everyone. Statistically true, realistically false. In my county, Greece, there is a common saying, when we invented democracy, Western Europe still lived on trees, therefore we're primitive. Without actually having done enough research, my anthro and history readings give me a hunch that's wildly untrue. Just respond that Egypt was writing poetry when Greece was gnawing on raw meat. That some people believe in flat earth theory. I'm pretty sure the surge of this online in the early 2000s was satire trolling for fun. But with a global audience, literally all the morons in the world have access to the same information, they just lack the full set of lenses. It's not even about the belief anymore. I was watching some documentary on flat earthers because apparently I'm dumb, and one guy flat out said that he wouldn't give up his beliefs even if shown evidence because he'd lose all of his friends. Fish don't feel pain from fishing. In Japan, octopus sashimi is sometimes served by cutting off the arm of a live octopus, serving the arm, and then returning the limb-lacking octopus to its tank to be sliced up again later. They claim that they don't feel pain, so it's okay, but that just doesn't sit well with me at all. Octopuses do feel pain, and they remember it. They are also extremely smart. I've always had my own personal one. My biological grandfather was born in the 1800s and I'm only 33. He had my dad later in life who had me later in life, so I'm one generation removed from someone born in the 1800s, which seems pretty uncommon for someone my age. Similar situation here. My grandfather fought in World War I. My mother's dad married a slightly younger woman and had tons of kids, and my mom was second from last. She then had me in her mid-late 30s. So I'm one generation from someone who served in World War I. That the moment you stop looking for love is when you find it. I've paused my search many a time, and just got lonelier. I think that saying is meant to mean that if you stop searching for love and instead focus on your own happiness, you're more likely to attract someone. People are a lot more attractive when they're healthy, whatever that means for them, happy and content with themselves. That collectibles, Beanie Babies, Pokemon cards, Legos, commonly sell for thousands, tens of thousands, and hundreds of thousands on eBay. Seems like it's faked half the time for money laundering reasons. That if you smoke, cutting back on smoking doesn't improve your health unless you quit entirely. Like it's pretty clear that it's best to smoke 0 cigarettes. But it's just as obvious to me that smoking 5 a day is better than smoking 10 a day, and smoking 10 a day is better than smoking 25 a day. That older generations know what is best for the youth. As an American, this is daily mainstream politics in a nutshell. Survivor bias is a huge problem. They think that whatever they did then was fine because they're still there to talk about it. They forget, aren't aware, or blatantly dismiss the ones who didn't make it. That my cat doesn't have a second family she invites over when I'm at work. You have keep in contact with toxic family members, longtime friends. Turns out you don't have to, no matter how much family and society pressures you. That sitting too close to a TV will make your eyes go bad, but sitting the same amount, if not closer, to a laptop is just fine. People swallow X number of spiders while they sleep over the course of their lifetime. This claims makes no sense if you think about it. When and where and was this observed and recorded? Why would spiders be walking over your face at night? These animals spin webs to catch insects in. And most of all, who doesn't wake up in a panic if something crawls over your face, into your mouth and down your throat? That things will never change. Things do change when enough people commit to a new decision or a new outlook and stand up for themselves. That humans can actually multitask. We can switch from one task to the other rapidly, but our brain isn't capable of multitasking in the way we understand the phrase. The only exception is doing whatever task while keeping our lungs breathing, heart pumping, etc. Well, everyone makes jokes about Internet Explorer being slow, but the reality is it wasn't noticeably slower than other browsers. It was only hated so much because it was made without web developing standards in mind, so web developers had a lot of trouble making content that works on it consistently. So it was buggy as shit, not slow. If your IE was slow, then your computer was slow. What commonly accepted fact are you not really buying? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.